Hola, thanks for checking out another one of my videos. In this one, we're going to be looking more at usted and ustedes commands, or mandatos formales, formal commands in Spanish. These ones, however, aren't just going to be one regular type of verb. These ones, for these commands, we're going to be looking at using not only reflexive verbs, but also reflexive verbs with direct object pronouns. So make it a little bit more complex for you. We'll also be looking at negative commands as well. Because those do come into play here when we're telling people not to do something and there are pronouns involved. So let's see. So when you're making these commands, you got to think three things really. What's the O form? What's the opposite? And affirmative equals attach, negative equals no attach. If you missed my previous lesson here on forming usted, ustedes commands, please check out this video first. So this will be a link right here that's live for you, and you can check that out. The text that you're seeing on the screen is available to you in a document form. If you want to have that, go ahead and go to the video description, and there's a link that will take you to this document, and you can print it off and take it with you for notes if you want it. So I'm now assuming that you've seen my video on how to make usted and ustedes commands, so some of this information should look familiar to you at this point, and I shouldn't have to explain it to you. But what I will be explaining to you is how to do this with reflexive pronouns and direct object pronouns. So let's look here. Ponerse la ropa, to put on clothing. So I'm going to give you the negative command, and well, I'm going to give you the negative command and the affirmative command. First, we'll do all the negative commands. The reason that I'm doing negatives first is because negative commands with pronouns are easier than affirmative commands. So I'm going to say don't put on your clothes. Ponerse is reflexive. It has a se at the end of it. And then I'm going to give you two commands. The first one's going to be don't put on the clothing. Okay. So the command for usted is for poner is pongan. And the negative command, like I said up here, negative equals no attach. What I mean by that is don't attach anything to your command, any pronouns or anything like that. So the se right here, it needs to go in front of the pongan. No se pongan la ropa. Now if I want to and make it more complicated, which I like to do, is I can change the word clothing to a direct object pronoun, which would be la. Now if I have that pronoun and I also have the reflexive pronoun se, you have to decide where am I going to put each one. Now what I always like to do is to think you always put people before things. So for the most part, all of my examples for these especially with these reflexive verbs, the reflexive pronoun is referring to a person, and the other thing is typically, not always, but typically going to refer to a thing. So I'll put the people, the se, before the thing, the clothing, the ropa, which is la. So your negative ustedes command, don't put it on, it being the clothing, is going to be no se la pongan. Let's go to the next one. So take off the clothing. I'm going to say don't take off the clothes. No se quiten la ropa. And then if I want to say don't take them off, the clothing, or the clothes, no se la quiten. Vestirse, careful with this one. So vestirse is a boot verb also, so it's going to be no se vistan. I don't need another one over here because there's no other pronoun I put in that one. Let's go next one. Brush your teeth. So don't brush your teeth. No se laven los dientes, or no se los laven. And cepillarse el pelo is going to be no se cepillan el pelo, no se lo cepillan. All right, so let's get to the stuff that's just a little bit harder. I'm going to use the same 5 verbs here, but I'm going to put them into an affirmative setting. So I'm going to tell somebody to do these things. So for the first one, to put on clothes, I'm going to say put on the clothing, and then I'm going to say put it on. Okay, this is where this becomes difficult. So try and take this one step at a time. So I have poner, se la ropa. Let's do just the poner first. So poner for the ustedes command is going to be pongan. Now remember earlier up here I said affirmative equals attach. Affirmative equals attach. So affirmative command, I need to attach my pronouns to the end of the command. So I have a reflexive pronoun, se. I have to attach that to the pongan. So I have pongan se la ropa. Now you'll notice, hopefully you've noticed, that there's an accent mark right here over that O. Now I'm going to explain this to you as best as I can, then I'm going to give you some more examples and practice as well. When you have a word in Spanish that has the stress of the word fall 3 or more syllables back from the end of the word, you have to have a written accent mark. So what I mean by that is, let's take this word pónganse. Okay, so I just broke that down into syllables for you. I'll do this one too. Okay, when doing this with the whole accent mark thing, first take the initial word. So here's my initial word. pongan. And I have to say that word to myself, and hopefully I'm saying it correctly. Pongan, pongan. Now you should be able to hear that the stress in that word is on that syllable, pongan. Right now, there are only 2 syllables, pongan. And this is the last syllable. Let's ignore this say for a second, okay? Let's just pretend it's pongan. There's pongan, 2 syllables, and since the stress is on the second syllable back from the end, or the first back, whatever you want to call it, there's no accent mark. But when I attach the say right here, now my word becomes more syllables, and the stress now, it's still on the same syllable, the P-O-N right here. But since I added the say, it's now on the 1, 2, 3 syllable, the 3rd syllable back. So I have to put a written accent mark. And over here, it's now on the 4th syllable back, and if it's 3 or more back, you put an written accent mark. So, pónganse la, it'll have it over the L right there. Quitarse la ropa, so take off the clothing. Quítense la ropa, quítense la. Notice that there's an accent mark there over the I. Same kind of rules as this right here. Vestirse, vístanse. There is an accent mark over the I right there. Lavarse los dientes is going to be lávense los dientes or lávenselos. And brush your hair, cepíense el pelo, cepíenselo. Notice the accent mark again over the I right there as well. So what I want you to do is try these out right here. I've got write both the affirmative and the negative ustedes commands using the following verbs. Be sure to include all possible pronouns. So like for this one, I want you to say put on makeup or don't put on makeup. For this one, I want you to say dry off your body. I'm sorry, dry it off, it being your body. Or negative, don't dry it off. So see if you can do that really quick, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how to walk through this process when you're done to see if you got the right answers. So here come the answers. Pause the video really quick if you want to do this. Otherwise, here come the answers. Okay, so what we have here is the verb maquillarse, and we will be making some ustedes commands with this verb. We'll do both an affirmative and negative command. So I think we'll start with the affirmative command. So if you remember from the lesson that I've been giving you, that with affirmative commands you're going to want to attach any pronouns that you have. So I have maquillarse, I just have the reflexive pronoun here at the end of it. So I'm going to attach that to the end of my command. So first, let's just figure out what the affirmative command, ustedes command for maquillar would be. So if we're thinking opposites, it'll be maquillan. And then, like I said a second ago, we're going to attach the say. So with the whole accent mark thing, I know this kind of is a hassle or it's difficult for some people. We really got to try and sound the word out and try and find the syllables in it. So we'll have ma, ki, yen, se. So what we have to do is, before we consider the say, let's just ignore the say here at the end for a second. Just say this word right here first by itself. We have maquillan, maquillan. So when I say maquillan, you can hear that the stress is right here. It's over that I. It's on the third syllable back from the end of this word maquillan. Say. So since it's on the 1, 2, 3, since it's on the 3rd syllable back or more, we're going to add a written accent mark right there. Let's do the negative command. Negatives are easier. No se maquillan, so we don't have to worry about accent marks, and we'll put the say in front of the verb, and we'll have no se maquillan. Let's take a look at this one, peinarse el cabello. So we're going to say comb your hair, basically. We'll do the negative first this time because negative is easier. So we'll start with the no. We'll change this hair to a direct object pronoun, which is going to change to lo. And then we have this reflexive pronoun as well. So we have 2 pronouns, say and lo. We'll put this say before the people, one before the things. So no, say, lo, peinen. And just in case you're curious, if this were an usted command, just drop the N off of these ones. And then for the affirmative command, so affirmative equals attach. So this will be the same for the ustedes command, peinen. Alright, I've got the say and the lo, I have to attach those. Okay, so let's first figure out how to pronounce this original word right here. It's peinen, say, or I'm sorry, peinen, peinen, peinen. The stress is over that E right here. Okay, that's where the stress on the word is. Let's break this down into syllables. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4 or more back. So peinánselo, we'll have the accent mark right there. All right, we got 2 more. We'll do secarse el cuerpo, so dry off your body. Let's do the negative first. Negative's a little bit easier. We will want to change the body to a pronoun, so that's going to change to lo. So the negative command, we're going to say no, say, lo. Okay, keep in mind that this is a car verb, so we got to do something to keep the k sound of say car. No se lo sequen will be the command. Let's do the affirmative. These words, with the exception of the no, will all stay the same. We'll just change the order of them. So we'll have, and we'll have sequen se lo. So let's just pronounce this word right here first by itself. It's sequen, sequen, sequen. You can hear that the stress is right there on that E. That's definitely more than three syllables back. So I'm going to have an accent mark there. Just in case you're curious. 1, 2, 3. It's on the 4th syllable back. All right, we got one more. Esconderse. We'll do the negative first. No se escondan. Don't hide. And then we'll do the, did I say affirmative first? That was the negative. We'll do the affirmative now. Okay, so let's just pronounce this word first. Escondan, escondan. The stress is over that U right there. So it's on the 3rd or more syllable back. So I'm going to put a written accent mark right there. If you want more help with these accent marks and stuff like that, do check out my video on accent marks in Spanish. I've been told it's somewhat helpful when learning these types of things. If you have any questions about these commands or want some additional help, let me know, and I'll get back to you.